So far, everything seems to be holding up. Nothing feels too hot. You can see that. Oh, that feels a little bit warm, but nothing crazy. What about this one? Oh yeah, this one's cool. Look at the steering. Wow. She's alive. Switch to turn the motors on. We're finally starting to get it warm. Put a new temperature gauge in it, but it's really not that warm. So here's the steering. This is up and down. Apron, and then the tailgate forward and back. I got the limit switches working as well. There's the apron. Pretty cold. I think there's still a bit of frost. I think there's still a bit of frost in this. I mean, there's just a bit of skiff on here that we can play with a bit, but we're still 2-3 weeks away before we get the frost out of the ground. But I thought we could come and do a little testaroo. It sure, over the last, this is all, I built up a bunch of unburnt diesel and really smokes, and maybe there's an exhaust leak. I don't quite know, but that whole muffler and exhaust manifold was all wet from me starting it and testing the motors here throughout the winter. So I think a guy would really have to work it to get that all burned off or heated off. I'm not quite sure where we got our rad leak coming from, but it's minor. All these contactor switches seem to be working great. Looks like we got a bit of oil leaking out of this thing. I bet you I wonder if there's water in there making it slosh out there. We'll have to check that, but all in all, it's looking pretty good. That's a pretty good load for not being pushed by something. I mean, I'm sure if I practice, I'll be able to get better. But yeah, that's working really good. It's working awesome. Yeah, these limit switches, these guys right there, they hit and they'll shut the motors off for you, so you can just hold it. This guy has a bunch of, two of them. You can see them in there. Yeah, so there's one there. There's one there, and then there's one there. As this whole trolley goes back and forth. There's the limit right there for that bottom one, and there's the limit right there for the front. So yeah, here's this guy. Well, that's great. He's cool as a cucumber. Right on. Hi, my name is Paul and this is PJT Ventures. Join me while I ramble on like an empty dump truck. Today's ramble, we got the Letourneau Model D Tournapull fully operational. So it's pretty exciting. It's been a long time coming, and yeah, it's worked out great. So if you're just tuning in, this machine has a 471 Detroit. Then it has a big generator in there, a big 300 volt AC 3-phase generator. Then the controls are just switches. There's no steering wheel. This is your steering, and then your scraper bowl up, your apron up, and your tailgate ejector. And then of course it just has a regular drivetrain, so just a 5-speed standard transmission. So the 4 functions are all electric. The steering, so the steering motor is tucked inside there. Then of course there's the apron motor, the scraper motor there, and then on the back is the ejector. So anyways, pretty cool. I got a bridge rectifier out of a welder, because these bridge rectifiers were wore out, and they seem to be holding up fine. I went through each one of these motors and gearboxes, took them all apart, put new bearings and seals in them, adjusted the brakes, brand new wires, and now they seem to be just operating great. I have two covers that go on those ones, but yeah, we'll put those on another time. It just seems to be, yeah, fully operational. This tire, I mean, all four tires are pretty rough. I put a bit of air in this tire earlier today, but it's got a slow leak. But for all I know, these could very well be the original tires. This tread pattern, we'll have to look in our books and see. But yeah, it works really good. I mean, there's still frost in that hill. I mean, we've had some warm weather, but we still have there's still frost in the ground. And but boy, oh boy, she'd sit there and just spin out. I haven't really got to look at the footage yet, but I think it really blows black when you run any of those motors. I mean, I'm amazed at how much power those motors take. And yeah, I do got a coolant leak, and there is a bit of an oil leak on the oil pan. I think the coolant leak is up in here. I think there's a crack right there. I don't know if you can see that, but it looks like it's been rebuilt once, because there's a tag in here. It says standard radiator from Calgary. So that means that it's been out before, but that's minor. It ran really good. Like I was saying earlier, this is all wet, unburnt fuel from it just kind of idling and me working on it throughout the winter, and it took a lot to get it warmed up. I barely got only on that last run where I really worked it did I get the temperature to move, and it only just went above 100. So I was told they were cold-blooded, but yeah, great. Looks also like there's a bit of oil leaking out of this big turntable seal. I haven't tore into that at all, so for all I know, it could need some kind of gasket or who knows what, but I mean, it has slopped out a little bit on there. It also could be half full of water and overfull, so I haven't looked into that one yet. But looking good, looking good. There is yeah, some kind of cool features about it. So this is called, we think it's a 1957 or a 56 or 57. It actually is a Letourneau Westinghouse. So here you can see it's got the Letourneau Westinghouse, the LET and the big W, and it's called a DP. And then on the back scraper has its own scraper model number. It's a DM, and of course it's got a 9-ton capacity. So that's pretty cool. So this guy, yeah, he came together nice. He was in the roughest shape, and it came together nice. I do need tires all the way around. I mean, they're holding, but not for long. Not for long. Yeah. What a beast. So I found I have a cover on it now, but I did find there's an hour meter right in there. You can just see it says hours, and the machine engine has, I think, about 5,700 hours. So that means that, I mean, there's really not a lot of hours on the machine. If it's got 5,700 engine run hours, then that means it probably only has like maybe 35 to 4,000 operating hours. Like, for example, combines. The combines all have their engine hour meters, and they have their threshing hour meters, and there's always like a 20 to 30% difference between the two of them. So for this machine to maybe only have potentially, 4,000 operating hours on it, I mean, I think it's in great shape. You look at some of this stuff like this guy, I mean, he's ready to be turned over or replaced, but if this guy is interchangeable, then maybe this guy's never been, maybe he's never been flipped. You look at these trunnions, these joints still have what I'm guessing would be factory spacers in there and in this apron one there. It's got a new cable here. Somebody's obviously put a new cable there, but that's a pretty rusty looking cable for the apron. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to change this ejector one, because it has like actual signs of wear right there. But that's no problem. That's no problem. Boy, that Detroit just, oh, it just howls. That's awesome. And like I was saying, I'll have to review the footage, but I think when you pull on those motors, it lugs this engine down. And yeah, it's awesome. So pretty good for a first test run. I'm pretty excited about it. Just sat there. It could just sit there and spin out indefinitely. So that's really cool. That the power to weight ratio. These are all full of calcium. So all 4 tires have calcium in them. It's going to be brutal when I go to change all this stuff because of the corrosion. But I mean, it didn't boil the dirt over the sides. And I mean, I kind of had a short run there, but eventually we'll push load with the TD15C there. Oh, that'll be the day. When we get to load with the dozer, that'll be a dream come true. I mean, as a kid, of course, you always dream of your Tonka toys, but yeah, this is awesome. And the switches all seem to work really good. So boy, what a day. What a day. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for all your support and all of your help along the way. And I really appreciate the enthusiasm and all the comments. And yeah, boy, it's alive. So thanks again, and we'll look forward to seeing you on the next one. Bye for now.